Hello class of FYBA students, we are back with another session based on grammar. So since this is the grammar bit, I hope you have done the previous exercising based on verbs and its types. And we'll start off with the fourth and the last topic, which is punctuation. Okay. Now when it comes to punctuation, just as you know, you must have learned punctuation signs and symbols as a little child as well. You must have learned it in school as well. But you know, nowadays people are ignoring the simple punctuation signs and symbols, while writing down sentences. So that's really very bad. I feel like punctuations are something that really make a lot of meaning. They really, help to make uh, sense, meaning they don't cause confusion. They have the right grammatical pattern, and they present your sentence in the correct grammatical pattern. Is what I want to say. So punctuations, yes, of course, its signs and its symbols are extremely important for one to learn, which is why we are going to be learning this in this particular chapter. Yes, so we'll just start reading. This is page number 53. Please keep your textbooks open while I'm reading. A very crucial aspect of effective language use is the proper use of punctuation marks. A string of words becomes meaningful because of punctuation. We must follow the rules of punctuation to convey the right meaning. The most common punctuation marks in English are commas, colons, semicolons, full stops, question marks, exclamation marks, apostrophes, and capital letters. Punctuation marks are equal to, that is, intonation in spoken language. Now, just as I said that it is very important to use punctuation marks in your sentences, okay? Now things like the full stop, the comma, the first word of the first sentence, sorry, the first letter of the first word of the sentence in capital is also very necessary, or putting a very important word in capital letters is also very necessary. Okay, so capitalization, semicolons, commas, full stops, exclamation marks, question marks. There are so many more that you will have to look into with this chapter. It's very easy. Please don't worry at all. So what they're trying to say is it's equal to intonation in spoken language. So when you talk to someone, when there is a verbal there's a simple communication going on. You don't say I went to the market, comma, I went to the mall, comma, and then I went home. Of course, you don't say comma, comma. So you just use pauses. So I went to the market, I went to the store, and then I went home. So you're trying to give pauses in between, and even when it comes to exclamations and other things like that, intonation, voice intonation is used, okay, and it kind of makes sense in a particular sentence. They indicate how words would sound when spoken. We can express our ideas and even emotions using appropriate punctuation marks. If used incorrectly, it can lead to confusion and misinterpretation. So, someone might get confused, you yourself might get confused, okay? So, just as I said, it doesn't lead to any confusion once you use the proper grammatical, punctuation. You use the proper punctuation marks and you don't make any grammatical errors in your sentence. It will do wonders for you. So let us look at the uses of some important punctuation marks using commas. That's the sign over there. Commas are the most important and the most frequently used punctuation mark in English. Wrong use of commas may convey wrong meanings. So let's see how. Okay, they're going to give us some examples. So please turn to page number 54. Example, let's eat, comma, grandpa, full stop. Correct. Let's eat grandpa. So, you must have definitely seen so many other memes out there on internet, let's eat children. So, and then you can see down over there, let's eat comma children, and then you see down there it's written the importance of a comma is really a lot. So back right over here as well, you can see let's eat comma grandpa. Okay, so it sounds like these children or somebody is telling grandpa to come and have a meal with them. Okay, commas are used for separating words or groups of words. My subjects were history, comma, economics, comma, geography and Hindi, full stop. Okay, so can you see these commas are being applied over here for the three subjects and Hindi. So students, please remember that you cannot say my subjects were history, comma, economics, comma, geography, comma, Hindi. No. Okay, Hindi and full stop. You can't do that. Okay, so you have to add and because this is the last word of the sentence, you're going to put a full stop after this. Okay, so these were the list of your particular subjects. So what is it that you do? You add a comma for these, and for the last subject right before that you add and. Okay, we bought pens, comma, pencils, comma, erasers and some books from the shop. Okay, so books being the last item, some books being the last item, you have to add over here and the commas over there. Okay. The managers called the sales executive, comma, the storekeeper, comma, the maintenance personnel and the accountant for an urgent meeting, full stop. Okay. They were more friendly, comma, more talkative, comma, more open than from the last time. Okay, so you can add. So obviously over here there's no and, but you're just trying to like they were more friendly, comma, they more talkative, comma, more open, because you just have to add than over here. Okay, you don't say more open and that from that time. No, you can't say that. So if you really understand how to make a sentence, I feel you're very lucky that way, that you really understood English that way. But those who are a little bit weak in this thing, I don't mind helping you more in this. English is a very irregular language, and you'll definitely make mistakes if you're a new beginner or something like that. So we'll get on to the next part. Separating different kinds of grammatical items like clauses and phrases. On arriving at Hyderabad, comma, she found that she had lost her wallet. Full stop. Between participle clause and the main clause. So what is the participle clause? This, on arriving at Hyderabad. And what is the main topic? The main clause is, comma, she found that she had lost her wallet. So you have to add a comma between these two sentences. Okay? You can't add a full stop. How you complete this assignment, comma, is left to your imagination between noun clause as subject and the rest of the sentence. So this is the subject part of the sentence. How you complete this assignment? Assignment is the noun, and right after that should be comma is left to your imagination. Okay. Meena. Now after any kind of name, after every name you have to add a comma. Geeta, comma, went to the mall. Okay. So similarly over here in this sentence, Meena, comma, why don't you wear a red dress? Question mark. Between the person addressed and what is said to him or her. So this is the person, comma, and this is what is being addressed to him or her. Okay. I hope you had a nice stay in our hotel, comma. Now these two are the inverted commas over here. These two are the inverted commas, and right before you can put the inverted comma, you have to use the comma down over here. Okay, so please do remember this. Said the manager to the departing guests. Full stop. Between the direct speech and the reporting clause. What is this direct speech? I hope you had a nice stay in a hotel. Somebody saying this. This is the direct speech. Said the manager to the departing guests. Okay. The reporting clause is said by who? This particular manager said this to. Okay. Like that. So you must have definitely seen when it comes to this particular sentence in our prose part, when it comes to a dialogue of a particular person, I'll just give you an example maybe. Sorry for the disturbance. Now you might just say, I asked him for the price. Inverted, I asked him for the price, comma, inverted commas, and then said Geeta to her mother. Okay, so and so. So this is how you have to construct a particular sentence with commas. Okay, so just try to read up this once again. Try to make your own sentences if you really want to perfect using commas in a particular sentence. Preparing interjections, comma, introductory words or phrases. Wow, that sounds really exciting. Well, comma, what do you think we should do about it? Question mark. By the way, comma, have you read today's paper? Question mark. So, have you seen how the use of comma is being used over here? Definitely. So, I mean, you can't say wow, exclamation mark. You're supposed to say comma. So, wow, comma. That sounds really exciting. Okay. Separating a tag question from the rest of the sentence. It's quite unexpected, comma, isn't it? Question mark. So, you're kind of asking two questions over here. It's unexpected, isn't it? You're trying to reassure. So, you use a comma right before you add isn't it and question mark. Okay, you live in Nasik, comma, don't you? Question mark. Once again, two questions in one. Okay, it doesn't seem to be the work of a single man, comma, does it? Question mark. Okay, so this is even how you can use in a question, how you can use a comma. It's being stated over here. Okay, so please do remember all these sentences and kind of make your own sentences, practice to make your own sentences. Okay, page 55, indicating a parenthesis. Sachin Tendulkar, comma, without doubt is our greatest cricketer. So now here in this particular parenthesis you have used Sachin Tendulkar, the name. What did I tell you? That when you use a name, right after that you have to add a comma. That is if you're talking about that particular person or that particular person is being asked a question. Okay, or anything of that sort. So Sachin Tendulkar, comma, without doubt, comma, is our greatest cricketer, full stop. Karthik, comma, as far as I know him, comma, never wanted to give up his Indian citizenship. Okay, the election analysis, comma, if I understand correctly, comma, predicts a hung parliament, full stop. Can you see where all the commas are being used? So when it comes to a parenthesis, you use a comma at least 3 times. Okay, you give the name of the person, what you think, and then what is actually going to happen. Okay, so using a colon are those 2 dots that are used. So this is the sign over here. This is the symbol of the colon. A colon is a punctuation used before the start of an explanation. The moral of the story is, colon mark, there is no harm in trying. A colon is also used for introducing a list. When we opened the door of the old house, we found an amazing collection of items inside. Colon mark, old clothes. So instead of using amazing collection of items inside, like, or any other word like that, so you would use a colon. It kind of shortens the sentence and it saves time. Okay, old clothes, comma, silver cutlery, comma, faded photographs, comma, a stuffed deer, comma, and a few cricket bats, full stop. You're required to buy the following things: colon mark, curd, bread, curd, comma, bread, comma, flour, comma, and butter. Flour, comma, butter, sorry. So full stop. This colon kind of saves time to, and it kind of doesn't need for you to add too many sentences to a particular word. Okay. So, however, a colon is not used for introducing a list which begins with namely and such as. This is a wrong, this is wrong to say. Thus, it is wrong to say, sorry. Many of the committee members were absent, namely, colon mark, Mr. Patil, Mr. Dixit, Mr. Marathe, Ms. Shinde, and Mr. Gupte, full stop. So these commas over here and the colon mark. Okay, so you cannot use a colon mark over here. Okay, you have to say, because you're answering people's names over here and you're giving people's names over here. So what do you use? Many of the committee members were absent, namely or such as that of Mr. Patil and so and so. A colon is also used for introducing a well-known quotation or saying without inverted commas. Okay. Example, remember, colon mark, a single swallow does not make a summer, full stop. So this particular colon mark, do you see it over here? So you can just use a colon mark and then the rest of the quotation or a quote. Using semicolon. A semicolon is a full stop and a comma down below. Okay, so can you see the symbol over here? Yeah. A semicolon means a longer pause than a comma, full stop. It is used in the following situations. When a number of commas have been already used in a sentence and a larger unit has to be marked out, comma, we use semicolon. She was cool, comma, cautious, comma, steady and determined to succeed, comma, whatever the cost. Semicolon, she would achieve her aim. So students, just as it was read before, that voice intonation matters a lot, and commas and semicolons, these two help in voice intonation and understanding of the particular sentence. So I'm going to read this particular sentence without these without saying comma and semicolon, and you try to see how it sounds. Okay? She was cool, cautious, steady and determined to succeed whatever the cost. She would achieve her aim. Can you see the longest pause is being applied where the semicolon is? Yes, because you're making a very big statement over here that she would achieve her aim. Okay? And when you have to use a comma, you just apply like just a 1 second pause. Okay? So back, so to page number 56 now. It is also used to join two main clauses where the connectors have been left out. The moon was fading fast from the sky. It would soon be time for sunrise. Okay, these two main clauses are being connected through the semicolon. Okay, I went to play. My cousin was the main actor. I went to the play. My cousin was the main actor. So semicolon, my cousin was the main actor. Okay. The use of semicolon is also very common to separate two antithetical clauses. I admire his skills. Semicolon, I doubt his integrity though. To err is human. Semicolon, to forgive is divine. Okay. So you're using two, you're using a semicolon separately for two antithetical clauses. Okay. But there are at least, I think, two morals over here, where you like someone's skills but you kind of doubt them, or just as the particular quotation over there, to err is human, to forgive is divine. Okay? Using full stops a full stop is used at the end of a sentence which is not a question or exclamation. So you, all of you may know what a full stop is. It's very easy to understand this. He spoke for an hour on contemporary politics, full stop. Okay. The audience was impressed by his analysis, full stop. It is also used in abbreviations, BAMS, okay, BAMS, so MBA, AM, example, OG, full stop, JAN, okay, so like that. So when it comes to abbreviations and short forms like uh, let's say UPSC exams, so U.P.S.C exams, okay, so even for that it's being used, okay. However, if an abbreviation forms an acronym, full stops are not used. WHO, comma, UNO, comma, UNICEF, comma, GATT. So, however, if an abbreviation forms an acronym, okay, full stops are not used. So these are the acronyms. So WHO, UNO, UNICEF, GATT are acronyms. Okay. If an abbreviation becomes well known and is in common usage, full stops are not required. BBC, CNN, EMI, LIC. So if an abbreviation becomes well known, it's quite well known, it's a brand, it's been used by many people, or many people are aware by it, aware of it, so you don't use a full stop. Okay. Full stops are also used in internet and email addresses. In this context, they are called dots. HTTP dot semicolon / www dot orientblackswan.com. Okay, so gmail.com. So they are known as dot, not full stop. Okay. Using question marks, this is the symbol over here. Question marks are used in questions at the end of a WH question. So who, when, what, where, why. Okay, these are WH starting words. When did you return from Delhi? Question mark. What is your brother doing these days? Question mark. At the end of a yes, no question. Have you spoken to your doctor? Yes or no? Okay, question mark. Will you be late for the function? Question mark. At the end of a tag question. Is it it was shocking, comma, wasn't it? Question mark. So these are tags. Okay, wasn't it is a tag question. Okay, they didn't complete their work, comma, did they? Question mark. At the end of a question in a statement form, the shops were not open? Question mark. You are leaving already? Question mark. Okay, so it's not been answered as yet, but you're just kind of making a statement. Okay, using exclamation marks. So that is the exclamation symbol over there. Exclamation mark is used at the end of a sentence which expresses surprise, joy, grief, or any other strong emotion. So exclamation marks are used for emotions. Okay, so please do remember that. What a surprise! Exclamation. That's really marvelous! Exclamation. How sad! Exclamation mark. So let me just give you an example. Oh my god, that's so bad! Exclamation. Okay, or oh dear, oh dear, the food has rotten! Exclamation. Okay. Exclamation mark is used for interjections and at the end of the sentences without verbs. Alas! Exclamation. He is no more. Wow! Exclamation. Great news! Okay, so there are two exclamations used over here. Danger! Exclamation. Keep out! Exclamation. What nonsense! Exclamation. Okay, so these are when the exclamations are used. So using apostrophes, this is the sign over here. Apostrophes are used with nouns to show possessions. The rules are For singular nouns, comma, add apostrophe s, and in Rajiv's, as in Rajiv's bag, for singular noun. So Rajiv is one particular person that they are talking about. So Rajiv's s, s and inverted comma. Okay, right after the name Rajiv. So Meena's bag. So Meena, exclamation mark s, Meena's bag, or Atul's room, like that. So you have to add an exclamation mark in s. You're talking about one particular person. Okay, Jenny's hat, Seema's books. Okay, can you see all the apostrophe s's that are added over here? For plural nouns ending in s, a dash s, add only the apostrophe as the boys' hostel. Parents' responsibility. Parents, comma, responsibility. Boys, comma. Okay. This is a plural. You're talking about many boys in number, and here parents meaning all parents in general. So the apostrophe sign comes right after the s. So please remember these two kind of sentences. Okay. For plural, for plural nouns not ending in s, add apostrophe s, as in women's hostel, children's books, etc. For plural nouns not ending in s. Okay, so you have to add women's, comma, apostrophe s and hostel. Okay, in you're talking about one particular women's hostel, so you just kind of use this. Okay, in case of proper nouns ending in s, you may add only apostrophe or apostrophe plus s. Both are accepted. Page number 58. In contemporary English, James, comma, or James's, James, comma, Keats or Keats, Yeats or Yeats. So these are names of very famous authors, Keats and Yeats and James, kind of famous authors. So you're kind of going to use them like this. So you add James and then a apostrophe, or James, then s, or James's, or you're trying to say James's stories are the best. Okay, so you'll just say the apostrophe and then the s. Keats, okay, or Keats's. So similarly these two. Apostrophe is also used for indicating the omission of a letter or letters in the short form of a word. What's wrong? I'll definitely come. He's looking for you. He'd gone home. They won't believe it. So can you see the apostrophe is being used over here? So just try making sentences of this kind, and you'll get to know what kind of where all to use an apostrophe s. Try to do these things on your own. Okay, not necessarily that you have to add an s. Okay, he'll definitely come. So you want to shorten down the sentence, you will just say I'll, or he'll, or they'll. Okay, they'll definitely come, like that. Okay, using capitalization. Capitalization is a feature which is peculiar to English and some other European languages. Capital letters are used as follows. For the first letter of any sentence, he is my close friend. The capital letter he over here, H, is capital. Okay. Why was he so agitated? Look, there are peacocks. Let us be quiet for some time. So can you see all these are capital letters, right? For the first letter of any pronoun, that is names of persons, places, geographical entities, etc. So just as I told you, when you use a name on a particular noun, you have to use a capital letter. Okay? You will meet Ajit tomorrow. So A is capital and U is capital. This is the start of the sentence, and Ajit is a noun. Okay? He, the start of the sentence or the word H will be capital. He will be coming from Nagpur. Nagpur is a noun, so N will be capital. Mount Everest is the highest peak in the Himalayas. So these are two separate words. Mount Everest is a noun, but okay, and then highest peak in the Himalayas. So Himalayas again is a noun. So capital H. The Ganga is considered a holy river in India. Once again, okay. The first person pronoun I is always spelled with capital letter. You're giving importance to yourself. I. Okay, you don't use the small letter of I to explain or to say about yourself. Never. Okay. 59. So this is exercise number 1. Use commas whenever required in the following sentences. Tomatoes, comma, potatoes, comma, carrots and brinjals are called vegetables. Very easy. On arrival, comma, he sent the car back. Okay? To be honest, comma, this is not the best method to do it. Nitin, comma, there are too many mistakes in your answer. When he reached home, comma, he cooked a simple meal for himself and read the newspaper and then dropped off to sleep. We need blankets, comma, sweaters, comma, bed sheets and a heater in this weather. When we arrived at the lake, comma, the birds of different species such as drakes, comma, ducks, comma, cranes and geese were to be seen there. I would like you to buy pens, comma, pencils and a sharpener. So I have done this for you. Now for exercise 2, you have to do it on your own. Okay? Yes, definitely. Now for exercise 2, please do it on your own. And we'll see you in the next class. And I'll see you in the next class. And we finished the grammar bit now. We finished the 4th and the last topic. So hope you've thoroughly learned all of them very well. And you've attempted all the exercises. So we'll meet you in the next class. Thank you.